Welcome everyone to the Inland Sports Show. Before we start the show, make sure you like this video and you've subscribed to the Inland Sports Show YouTube channel. And if you're a local business or organization and you'd like to promote yourself on this show, just send us an email, inlandsportsshow@gmail.com. The show starts right now. Garcia's left footed. And what is up, everybody? Welcome to the Inland Sports Show, live and amplified at Teen Vision TV 16. I'm your host, Pep Fernandez. We got a real big, juicy show for you tonight. We got a lot of high school baseball. A little bit later, we'll check up with the Yucaipa High School Thunderbirds. We also got softball with one of the top-ranked teams in Division III right now, Temescal Canyon, and their head coach, Sarah Kretschmar. And a little high school football. Outgoing head coach at Moreno Valley, Ted Wadkins, will stop by after 19 seasons as the head coach of the Vikings. So we'll kind of reflect back on his career with Moval. But we're leading off with high school baseball right now. These guys are the #1 team right now in Division VI. It is the Bloomington Bruins. We got Coach Contreras and a couple of his guys joining us. And Coach Carlos Contreras, Coach, listen, congrats on the start this season. I don't know if you're surprising a lot of teams, but do you feel like maybe you guys were flying under the radar, or did you know that you had a pretty good ball club this season?
Yeah, we had trust in our abilities of our guys. We knew that they were able to perform on the field. They showed it during the fall. They showed it during practice. The good thing was they were able to put all that together during the game situation. So, yeah, it has been surprising to us. We knew they always have the ability. If other teams are surprised, and that helps us. We, like you said, we come underneath the radar.
So, Coach, now you've been #1 in the CIF Southern Section Division 6 rankings for a couple weeks now. Do you embrace that #1 ranking, or do you try to downplay it a little bit with your guys?
You know what? We accept the attaboy, but we have to move on from it and keep playing ball. We'll take the attaboy. We'll take the the honor, but at the same time, we have a lot of work to do, taking it one game, one pitch at a time.
All right, Coach, you got some of your Bruins right behind you. Who's right behind you there? Can you introduce your guys for us?
Yeah, I got Andy Tejada. He's our left-handed pitcher. He had to win tonight. No runs allowed again. So I don't know what his streak is up to now. I think he's up to 30 innings without allowing an earned run. We have our senior catcher, Abraham Lira. And we got our senior first baseman, David Barajas, and our senior shortstop, Robert Barrera.
Now, Coach, your guy Tejada, he's probably too young to know who Oral Hershiser is, or maybe he does about this, streak of not giving up an earned run. But, man, what a run right now. What have you been doing well on the mound to get these outs, and maybe your defense is behind you helping you out a little bit?
Well, to be honest, it's nothing really too special. I just visualize it before the game. I visualize myself doing good, and I just go up there. To be honest, I just throw the ball, and it's been going good so far. It's not a secret, but like I said, it's not nothing too special, too new that I've been doing. I just been doing me.
All right, Andrew, thank you so much. Let me talk to the guys behind you as well. And this could be a question for any of you guys, because when you've got Tejada on the mound or some of your other pitchers and they're not giving up any runs or maybe just one run in a game, you don't have to score a lot of runs, but the offense is putting up a lot of runs right now. What is clicking right now with the offense? This could be a question for all you guys.
I would say the teamwork. We're playing small ball. We're not trying to do too much. We're just moving each other over, just doing our job. Everybody's, playing their role, just doing what they got to do, and it's been working so far.
And how much fun has this season been that you guys are winning, you're scoring a lot of runs, you're number one in your division? How fun has it been this year?
It's pretty fun. Comparing from last year, struggled a little bit with the team, and it's just our last year here, so go as far as we can.
You know, and going as far as you can. Listen, it's been fun. It's been great. You guys are on a roll. We know that. But I gotta assume that, you know, a league title and a deep CIF playoff run is kind of the big goals that you guys still have in front of you. Is that safe to say?
Goals.
Oh, goals?
CIF.
Yeah, it's always been our goal. We every year before season starts, we have a set of goals of what we want to accomplish, and one of them is win league, and we have a good shot at that this year.
Hey, let me go back to Coach Contreras. Coach, you said even through fall ball and getting ready for the season, you knew you had a good club. You got a lot of talent on this team. If you guys could put it together, it could be a really special season for you guys. Now that it is happening and it's all coming together, how do you keep these guys dialed in and focused to, you know, complete the mission, which could be a league title and a deep, CIF run?
Yeah, we have to keep a focus at practice. Everything we do at practice is live. When they're taking ground balls or fly balls during batting practice, they play it live. That's where they're getting their live reps all the time. We do a little competition with our hitting to put pressure on them. So when they get in game and pressure situations, they've already felt that pressure and they can be successful. We have 20 guys on our varsity roster, and we use every one of them. We got a pinch hitter specialist. We got a defensive specialist. You know, we got our relievers, our closers, and they all have bought into their role. And that's what's made it successful at this point. Everybody's pulling for each other.
All right, finally, Coach, I don't want to give you a history pop quiz on the spot, but I am curious because I don't know. When is the last time that Bloomington won a league title, or have they even made it to a CIF championship game? Do you guys know that?
1984 was the last, 85 was the last league title. No, I'm sorry, 83. 83 was the last league title. CIF, I believe they made it. They made a run in that same year, but I don't think they went all the way.
So you guys are trying to make history. Do you guys talk about that, like leaving your legacy and trying to make history for the school?
Yeah, we actually did that in the gym the other day. We had when it rained, we had a rain out, so we practiced in the gym. And first thing we did was looked up at the banner. We saw the league title up there for 1983. And we set our goals to put our banner up there, hopefully this year. But our number one goal is CIF. Get win league, that's the first thing. The next step is getting in the playoffs and going making a deep run.
Man, 40 years ago. Was 83 really 40 years ago, Coach? Man, I'm getting old. That seems how's that 40 years ago?
Yeah, I graduated in 84, so that's pretty old. Yeah.
Well, Coach Contreras, listen, you guys are the best. I really appreciate you making time for me. I know it's kind of a crazy time of the year. I don't know what your schedule looks like the rest of the way, but trying to, get in games with the weather, and I know we got more rain this week, so you guys just beat Rim of the World, and you hopped on the show, so I really do appreciate it.
Thank you. I really appreciate you guys. Inland Sports Show, it's a great avenue for the kids, for the families, and for these athletes to get recognized. I appreciate what you guys do.
Well, thank you, Coach. You guys keep winning, and we'll bring you back on. Is that a deal?
Yeah, absolutely. That's the plan.
That is Coach Carlos Contreras and his Bloomington Bruins. Look at that, big smiles all the way across after a big win against Rim of the World. Thank you so much, guys. Really, really appreciate it. Congrats on the great start this season. All right, we're going to take our first commercial break of the night. When we come back, we will check in with Yucaipa High School and their skipper, Ralph Grajeda, next on the Inland Sports Show.
And this segment of the Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Kids Sporting Goods in Norco, #1 in the Inland Empire for team uniforms, sports equipment, and Letterman's jackets. Boost Performance Training in Corona. Athletes of all levels and all sports train at Boost. And also ask about the Bass Private School. And Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands. Personalized treatment you deserve from an orthodontist you can trust.
What up, y'all? Boostman here with a quick 2 cent. We live in an era where student-athlete empowerment is at an all-time high, and this is a good thing. But be careful. There's a fine line between empowering yourself and not being gritty. Just because things don't go your way doesn't mean you should automatically explore other options. Communicate with your coaches, find out what you can do better, and be sure you've done everything in your power before making the decision to move on. Empowering yourself as an athlete is great, but using empowerment as an excuse to take the easy route is a recipe for disaster. Boostman.
Hello, my name is Juanita Webster with the City of San Bernardino. The Parks, Recreation, and Community Services Department is excited to bring back the Extravaganza. This event is scheduled from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Spiker Park on Saturday, April the 8th. Children will be divided into age-appropriate groups for a fun and fair hunt. Bring a basket or a bag for all your goodies. This event will feature over 20,000 eggs for the hunt, separated areas for each age group open to youth ages 12 and under, 3 golden eggs in each section for big giveaways. The bunny will be hanging out for a few hours, and games and crafts for all. For more information, please call 909-384-5233 or email us at recreation@sbcity.org. We hope to see you there, and please follow us on our social media at SB City Parks and Rec.
The Inland Sports Show is proud to partner with Dr. Marcus Paulson and Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands. Dr. Paulson and his team work with children, teens, and adults using orthodontic products like traditional braces and Invisalign to make a difference in the appearance, comfort, and function of each patient's teeth. Paulson Orthodontics welcomes new patients, so schedule a visit today. Paulson Orthodontics. We make braces fun.
And welcome back to the Inland Sports Show, live and amplified at Teen Vision TV 16. Doing a lot of high school baseball this time of the year as we try to get some games in, right, around all this crazy weather. I think there's more rain expected later on in the week. But right now, join us here on the Inland Sports Show. It is the Yucaipa Thunderbirds and their head coach, Ralph Grajeda. And, Coach, listen, you always got a great team, and we're going to talk to some of your guys in just a moment as well. But this year, when you look at the CBL, I mean, top to bottom, it's always tough, but I feel like it's maybe tougher than ever right now in the Citrus Belt League. Is that safe to say?
There's a lot of parity. I mean, programs are getting better, and it's. I've watched it in the last 6 years get stronger and stronger. So, I mean, from a coaching standpoint, I think it's great for the CBL.
All right, Coach, we will talk to some of your guys in just a second right now. But, when you play at Yucaipa, obviously there's big goals. And you guys, a Division II championship not too long ago, right? But what do you think it's going to take to put together a playoff run when we know there's so many good teams in the Southern Section? I feel like I ask you this question every year, but, what does it take to get a team hot at the end of the regular season to go into the playoffs?
For me, the recipe hasn't really changed. We're going to go try to play great tournaments. We played in the PBR. We were in that championship last year, and then this year we lost 3 one-run games and walked out of there 0-4. It was a learning experience. I think coaches are responsible for creating the environment for their kids to grow and get better. And I think you're doing yourself a disservice if you're not trying to find venues that are going to sharpen those skills and get them ready, especially at the Division I level. So, we learned a lot about the dynamics of our team in that tournament. And so we've done a pretty good job of playing the game that's right in front of us and worrying about that game. And right now we are, I want to say 4-0 in the CBL, and we won 5 of our last 6. So we are starting to do things pretty well at consistent level. And I like the trajectory, and, it's, I like where we're headed. We're playing real good baseball right now. We're doing the team thing. It's good. It's good right now. So, I mean, the league's good. the league's gotten really, really good. And so, again, that's a tribute to the coaches in the CBL. But going back to us, I think being in that tournament really prepared us. It wasn't the outcome that we wanted, but we played great competition. We were in it every single pitch, and it's definitely showing some dividends for us right now. And I like our position, and I think the kids are kids are dialed in. They're ready. They're hungry. So we learned a lot. And we're going in the right direction for sure.
Yeah, it's that time of the year when you want to start trending up, right? As you're going through league play and getting a little bit closer to the CIF Southern Section playoffs. We got a couple of your guys on as well. I'm going to start with Luke Scherr because over the weekend, you guys played Fullerton in a non-league game at home. I don't know who shot the video, but it looked like pandemonium. Luke had the game-winning hit to knock in the winning run. It was 6-5. And Luke, I just wanted to ask you about that moment of knocking in the game-winning run. I don't care who you're playing, to knock in the game-winning run and a walk-off, that's always a big deal. How good did that feel, Luke?
It felt great. I mean, just to get there and come through for the guys there, that felt amazing. Especially like I haven't been playing to my standards or anybody's standards right now, and just to be able to clutch up right there and get it done, that really did feel amazing. So,
you know, a walk-off game-winning hit, whether it's some non-league game on a Saturday in March, or if it's, you know, the CIF Southern Section Division II championship game. Dude, it's always crazy. You guys were out there enjoying it, laughing, really enjoying the moment. Like Coach said, just being in the moment, how much are you guys enjoying this season and just really absorbing and soaking in those moments like a walk-off win to kind of, you know, build morale and confidence on this team?
I think, honestly, that game was really good for us because, like you said, we've lost 4 one-run games. We've been in a lot of close games, and we hadn't came out on top yet. We came out on the Noah Reimer game when we, 2 RBI, the Rev won. But other than that, we hadn't really had a chance to come out on top in one of those close games, and just to have the confidence to do it. And that's just going to build big time for us going through the rest of the season for sure.
Now, Luke, let me go back to Coach Grajeda on this one before I get to Noah Reimer. And Coach, throughout the season, you want to, play some good teams. Like you said, you had the PBR tournament to open up the season. And maybe you do want to play some close games so your team can kind of, figure it out on the fly in a real live game situation. What happens when it's a close game and you need that big hit? Do you think this will pay dividends for this Yucaipa team going forward to, be in some close games and find a way to win them?
Just I got to give credit where credit's due. I mean, Fullerton, was no slouch either. They're ranked in Division II. It's a good team. They've been in the finals. I want to say a year or two ago, they came out. They're a pretty physical team. So, I mean, how that came about was all of this rain was going on and people are trying to find games. And so, I reached out, I saw an email and I saw it on Twitter and I thought I'd give him a call. And Sean Hill, the coach over there, he said, yeah, we'll come out to Yucaipa. We just need to play baseball. And I thought the best thing for us in the program was to play and not sit for 10 to 11 days and then try to figure it out on game day. So, want to give some credit to them. It was a good club. It was really, really good game. Going back to what you're saying, I think we were looking at it. We got a lot of young guys. We got a lot of young guys that have, didn't really start for us last year. We're doing a lot of teaching. There's a lot of growing and we're now starting to put it together. And you could see glimpses of that, when we played a Servite or a Cypress. We threw, Noah Reimer, who is here with us right now. Mm-hmm. He threw an outstanding game against Cypress. They were 12th in the state at the time, and they're ranked in Division I. We had another really good game against Redondo Union. We saw a real good arm. So we learned from it. I think if you don't learn from failure, you're not doing the right kinds of things. And we're definitely learning from it. We're learning how to close out games. And so if you're asking me if there's value in playing real tough schedules, absolutely. And the kids see that. They definitely see that, and they're seeing opportunity and how to close it out. So for sure.
All right, Coach, let's go to Noah next, because Noah, kind of piggybacking off what Coach just said, do you feel like the team is, better right now than it was, let's say, beginning of February when the regular season was beginning? Do you feel like this team has really progressed and improved to this point so far?
Oh, absolutely. Like, I think it comes to the point of facing adversity. Like, I think, like, in the beginning, we kind of struggled, when teams pushed back. Like, sometimes we'd fold. But I think it's just a point of growing up and overtaking the adversity and, just competing, honestly.
So, Noah, what has been working for you so far this season individually? Coach said you went up against Cypress, who at the time was one of the top teams in the state. What's been working for you?
My mentality, I just feel like when I'm on the mound, I feel like I'm unstoppable. Really, just like, it's just me and the batter. I'm going to get you out. Like, pitch by pitch.
What if the batter is Jacob Reimer? Who's winning that battle?
Oh, me all day. There's no question about it.
I don't know. I saw him hit a bomb in one of those, backfield spring training games. Is that right, Coach? I think Jacob went deep the other day for the Mets.
Yeah. Somebody sent that to me, and I was looking at it, and so they were doing like a Mets Farm System. Somebody had a Mets Farm System Twitter handle, and I saw that, and he's come out and worked with us. He works out. Him and Luke are super tight, and so they work out together. And he's already bigger, man. He's already bigger, and they've done some things with the swing, and it's just electric. It's electric. It's quick. It's strong. It's got a lot of power. So things are trending really well for Jacob. I'm really happy for that family. It runs in the blood, right? Now Noah's starting to pick it up, and it's just baseball's in that family through and through for sure.
Let me go back to Noah real quick on this one as well. Noah, we're coming down the home stretch of the regular season, which is crazy to say as we go through Citrus Belt League play. But where are some areas that you feel like this team can still get better? I know you guys are playing good baseball right now, but where do you think you guys can still get better right now?
I feel like consistency, or situational hitting. If we stay consistent with situational hitting and getting the job done where it needs to be done instead of losing those, like Coach said, those one-run games, I feel like we'll go super far.
All right, same thing for you, Luke. It feels like the T-Birds have turned a corner on the season and are playing really good baseball. But, as you go through the final weeks of league play into the playoffs, where do you hope to see this team improve on? So maybe you guys do string together a couple CIF wins and make a deep playoff run.
I think, honestly, we just need to put it all together in one game. Like right now, we'll have a lot of games where our pitching's really good and we'll put up 3 or 4 runs. That's where or not even 3 or 4 sometimes. That's where the one-run games come from. And we've had games where we have really good offense. So now we just need to put them together, and then I think it'll be tough to beat us after that. And we're getting there. We're starting to hit. The pitching's been the same all year, so I think it's coming for sure.
Awesome, Luke. Appreciate it, Luke and Noah. And Coach, let's end it on this. Dude, I love your field at Yucaipa High School, and it looked like you got a facelift of sorts this year. Can you talk about the field? And, man, it looks awesome.
Yeah, there was a family in the community. They do a lot of philanthropy. It's the Berry family, and so they've done a lot of things to help out Yucaipa High School and the city of Yucaipa itself. So we had approached them about turfing our backstop area, and then turfing home plate, and turfing the base paths from home to first, home to third. And they were gracious. They agreed to this back in July. And the biggest challenge was to get it done before the season. We started a little bit late, and then we hit into some rain. But the turf that we got is from a company, Boone Action Turf. The name's going to ring a bell. So Bob Boone, I want to say, owns the company, and his youngest son, Matt, runs it. And they put a lot of turf projects together in backstop areas at colleges. Like you'll see it at Cal State Fullerton. They just did their bullpen as well. You'll see it at San Diego State. I believe they did UCLA as well. So we called them, and they've done a great job. They're about to sink the logo behind there. So we were very fortunate to have that family help us. And again, the Berry family have been very, very gracious and done many things at the high school and the community itself. And then Taiwan Walker, who's an alum and just signed with the Mets. I had been, messaging him through Instagram because he started following us for the last couple of years. And so over the summer, I just threw out, hey, how about we get this bullpen dialed in and name it after you? And within 72 hours, he's the coolest guy, very down to earth. He just said, hey, let me talk to my wife and my team and my CPA, and I'll get back to you. And he did. It was less than 2 days. He got it done. He called us back and said, hey, we want to be a part of this and would love to get back. And it's been great. We enclosed our bullpen. We put concrete in there. We expanded it. The bullpen itself looks like a spring training facility. We get a lot of work at it. It's still a work in progress. We're about to finish turfing it and put some netting behind the catchers, but the workspace itself is really big. And the other thing that's big about it is, these guys get to go to a nice facility. Day in and day out. We just painted our grandstands. A lot of that was donated, and it's a difference to walk on the field and enjoy the environment and where you're going to compete in and practice in. So for the guys, I can see it. They enjoy going to the yard. Just ask them. It's on. I don't have to solicit it. You can see it. They enjoy it for sure. Yeah. And we're very appreciative of those huge donations. It makes a difference, especially in their lives.
Yeah, top notch. Not a lot of high schools have a facility like you guys right now, and thanks to those generous donations. Coach Grajeda, Luke, Noah, listen, I really appreciate the time. I got to run now, but best of luck the rest of the way in league play, and of course, we'll see you guys in the playoffs.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, that's the Yucaipa High School baseball team here on the Inland Sports Show. Thanks again, guys. Really, really appreciate it. When we come back on the show, we'll talk some high school football with the outgoing head coach of Moreno Valley, Ted Wadkins. That's next here on your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show.
Hey guys, this is Jason at Ken Sporting Goods. We're almost to 1,000 Instagram followers. Tell your friends, like us, come down, see us. Thank you so much for your loyalty.
What up, y'all? It's your boy Boostman here with a quick 2 cent. In pursuit of your goals as student athletes, it's perfectly fine to feel frightened, even intimidated over the amount of energy that will be required. The question is, how do you respond to fear? Do you allow it to stand in front of you or push you from behind? Big dreams and goals should always scare you a little, but allowing that fear to stand in your way will prevent you from moving forward. While those who use that fear as energy to push them forward can surmount any obstacle and achieve any goal. Your boy, Boostman.
The City of San Bernardino Parks, Recreation, and Community Services Department will host a Community Arbor Earth Day Park Revitalization on Saturday, April 22nd at Bobby Vega Park, located at 862 North Garner Avenue. The Arbor Earth Day Revitalization is a free community outreach event that will take place from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. for the purpose of environmental education. This event will entail free secure document shredding, up to 5 standard boxes per household. Mulch and compost giveaway, please bring your own containers. Water and energy conservation tips, along with a park cleanup and tree planting. Motor oil filter recycling containers will be provided while supplies last. There will also be a green job fair providing apprenticeships and demonstrations. This family and pet-friendly event encourages city residents to come out and explore the variety of environmental resource vendors, such as the California Conservation Corps, Rolling Green Tree Care, Serenity Plants, Uplift San Bernardino, and Owner-Occupied Rehab Program. Come out to help clean up and improve your local park. We'll appreciate everyone's support. See you there.
And this segment of the Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Ken Sporting Goods in Norco, #1 in the Inland Empire for team uniforms, sports equipment, and letterman's jackets. Boost Performance Training in Corona. Athletes of all levels and all sports train at Boost. And also ask about the Bass Private School. And Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands. Personalized treatment you deserve from an orthodontist you can trust.
And welcome back to the Inland Sports Show. We're talking a lot of high school baseball and softball this time of the year, but we are always talking high school football. This guy's one of our favorites. After 19 seasons stepping down at Moreno Valley High School's head coach Ted Wadkins. And Coach, man, when I hear your name, I think Moval Vikings, man. You are synonymous now with Moreno Valley, but nearly 20 years as the head coach at Moreno Valley. What are some of the things that you think you're going to miss the most? I mean, is it just maybe not even on Friday nights? Maybe it's behind the scenes stuff.
No, it'll definitely be Friday night. Behind the scenes stuff, that's the work part of it. So definitely Friday night. The kids, the clowning around with the kids, part of it's a serious part of it, but obviously coaching has a lot to do with relationships with kids and with people, and those things will probably be missed more than anything, is those relationships you build.
You know, Coach, I don't think I've ever asked you this. How did you, rewind 2 decades ago? How did you first end up at Moreno Valley, and did you ever think you'd be there for almost 20 years?
No, and no, it was just kind of a weird situation. I was actually a defensive coordinator at Valley View, and we'd made the finals, played against North in 2001. And then I took a year off, or thought I was taking a year off or so. And John Tyree, who obviously the Banning guy just resigned. We were just talking about him off the air, but he was a AB Miller. And so he hit me up about coming over there and running his defense. So I did that for a year. And then the Moreno Valley job came open. And it's just kind of funny, I told a bunch of my buddies I was going to apply for it. And they were like, dude, don't do it, man. That's a death sentence for high school football coaching, man. You'll never get another job. Well, they might be right, but so that's kind of how. And I was already working in the Moreno Valley Unified School District, and I was coaching at Valley View. I was the track coach over there still, and so it was just kind of a natural fit to go to Moreno Valley. I did not think I'd be there 20 years. I thought it would be a stepping stone, but I've enjoyed my time there to the point where I just didn't want to leave.
Speaking of enjoying your time, I mean, what do you think made that place special? Obviously, you came back year after year after year. What kept bringing you back?
The kids. To be honest with you, Pep, the program, and I don't want to speak ill of any coaches, in the past, but the program at Moreno Valley hadn't. The next guy I think had 32 wins, and that was Rocky Ford, and he was kind of a legend at Moreno Valley. And, I'd go, I was funny when I was coaching in Notre Dame, I would go to RCC, would have these breakfasts for the high school coaches back then. And Rocky Ford would get up and, man, he told stories about Moreno Valley High School back in the day at RCC breakfasts that I was like, wow, this school is something else. And, but, he was kind of a legend there. And the fact that, after looking at it, 32 wins in 8 seasons, and it's a tough place to win. And so, when we started winning and started rolling and the kids decided to stay home, that's the biggest thing. Moreno Valley's got a lot of talent. It's just, can you keep them home? And, we kept our fair share to the point where we were able to win and be successful and have fun doing it.
Coach, you had the chance to coach your son, Dane. He was a star quarterback for the Vikings, and then he was on your staff as well. What was that experience like for you, being a dad, having Dane around as a player and then as a coach too on your coaching staff?
Bittersweet there. He was a really good quarterback for us. It was just one of those deals where, poor kid through his 4 years had 3 torn ACLs. So, he battled and came back every single year. But and it wasn't the same knee both times. It was different knees. And so he had his issues with that. But the kid loved the game. And then to be able to come back and coach with us and actually take over our offensive coordinator spot the last 3 years, for me as a dad and as a head coach, was extremely special for me to have him tag along and actually get to the point where, he was able to call plays and call games that I was proud of, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Coach, you were telling me off air, and if you don't mind sharing, we talked about 19 years at Moreno Valley. Why step down at this point?
Like I was telling you off the air, it wasn't something I'd had planned. As a matter of fact, we had a team meeting about 2-3 weeks before I'd stepped down, and told the kids, 100% we were coming back. We were all on board. We were going to be a little young, but we were looking forward to the challenge. And then middle of February, my mom up in Washington passed away, and that changed a lot of things for me as far as my responsibilities up in Washington, and so time-wise, I just don't have the time to be able to continue doing what I love doing.
So I know you're stepping down at Moreno Valley, but maybe at some point in the future, maybe not the near future, but at some point, the door's open a little bit, right, for a Coach Wadkins return at some point to the sidelines?
Yeah, no, I got some stuff I got to take care of, but I'm still young at heart, and it's definitely what I enjoy doing. And it's a passion of mine, and so yeah, I definitely see myself getting back into it at some point.
And finally, Coach, taking over the program is one of your former players. I know he was, played at Mo Valley, coached at Mo Valley with you. He was recently at Vista Del Lago, but Coach Benita is now taking over the Vikings. Just any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'm excited for him. You know, we kind of set it up so that, you know, he would get the job so that we could keep our entire staff together. And, you know, he played for me my first 3-4 years that I was at Moval, coached for me for 8 or 9 years, did an outstanding job, went over to Vista del Lago, you know, ended up beating us a couple times over there. So, you know, hats off to him for doing that over there, kind of created a rivalry between the two schools. And so I'm excited for Benitez. And like I said, it's a good thing because it keeps our staff together for the kids. And I think he'll be successful there as well.
Well, Coach, listen, I really appreciate the time. I got a sneaky suspicion it's not the last time we see you and or your son Dane coaching on the sidelines somewhere. So when you do, please let me know. I want to stay in the loop here. All
right, will do, Pep. Thanks for having me back on here, man. Appreciate it.
You
always
got
enjoyed having interviews with you, bud.
Listen, I appreciate it too. I mean, I know head football coaches are the busiest guys in the world, but you always made time for me, so I do appreciate that, Coach.
You're welcome, man. Good seeing you, bud.
You got it. That's Ted Wadkins, the head football coach from Moreno Valley after 19 seasons with the Vikings. Man, what a great run. All right, we're going to take another quick commercial break here on the Inland Sports Show. When we come back, we'll talk Temescal Canyon softball. That's next. Awesome.
What up, y'all? Boostman here, gonna break you off with a quick 2 cents. With over 10 years in the game developing athletes, I'm gonna share with you guys 3 major keys to developing speed. Number 1, you gotta get stronger. This increases your capacity to produce force. Number 2, you gotta improve your running mechanics. I'm talking about arm action, leg action, and good posture. Number 3, you gotta sprint. High-quality sprints that uses acceleration and max speed are vital for sport specificity. There you have it. 3 keys for speed. Now get to it. Your boy, Boostman.
San Bernardino has implemented a new low-cost sidewalk vending program in hopes of expanding opportunity for community members to start sidewalk vending safely and lawfully. We want everyone to have access to the economic benefits that sidewalk vending brings, but we want to make sure that our sidewalk vendors know the do's and don'ts when it comes to our city. We must make sure that vendors are keeping our residents safe by following general health and safety standards, and by following all city rules. Like, did you know to legally sidewalk vend in the city of San Bernardino, you'll need a seller's permit? What about the $1 million general liability insurance that you are required to have? Don't let this scare you. When all is said and done, the cost of the annual permit will either be $64 or $154. We want to help in every way we can when it comes to vendors lawfully running and growing their small businesses. But those who operate without the proper permits can and will be cited. Citations can run anywhere from 100 to a misdemeanor, and repeated violations can result in the confiscation of items needed to sidewalk vend. We do not want this to be you. So if you have any questions or concerns regarding the new sidewalk vending program, please call us at 909-384-5035, where staff will help you navigate your way to becoming a safe and permitted vendor in our city.
The Inland Sports Show is proud to partner with Dr. Marcus Paulson and Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands. Dr. Paulson and his team work with children, teens, and adults using orthodontic products like traditional braces and Invisalign to make a difference in the appearance, comfort, and function of each patient's teeth. Paulson Orthodontics welcomes new patients, so schedule a visit today. Paulson Orthodontics. We make braces fun. this before. I'm going to do it again. San Diego State, 2 of their starting 5 are right here from the IE. Lamont Butler from Riverside Poly High School and Matt Bradley out of San Bernardino High School leading the Aztecs to their first ever Final Four, Patrick. They've had some great teams, including those Kawhi Leonard teams, but they never made it to the Final Four. This team has done it.
Right. I was just going to mention Kawhi Leonard because that was a really cool part of San Diego State, with Coach Fisher and all that stuff. Yeah. The ex-Fab Five Michigan coach. Yeah. He was the first one to kind of get him into the tournament, and it looks like they've finally taken the next step. I think it's really cool.
The Angels are going to open up at the A's, and Shohei Ohtani will be the opening day starter for the Halos. And we knew this back on February 16th. The Angels were the first team in baseball to come out and say, hey, we know who our starting pitcher is going to be on opening day. It's Shohei Ohtani. They had no doubt, man. They've known this for months that he was their number one. No doubt about it.
Right. When you got the guy who's on top of the world, especially right now, he already was before.
Inland Sports.
And welcome back to the Inland Sports Show. Hanging out with my boy Patrick in the morning on KCAL 96.7 FM every Monday and Thursday. Right now we're talking some high school softball. We do it every single week. It's our Big Boost Play of the Week. As soon as I saw this on the gram, I was like, this has got to be the play of the week. Big time. Temescal Canyon, Hemet, Ivy League softball, tied at 3, and Zion Romero cranks one out in deep. It's a walk-off home run, the Big Boost Play of the Week to give Temescal Canyon the 4-3 win. We had to slow it down and just watch it fly out of the yard as Temescal Canyon picks up a big win. The Ivy League is so tough for softball. So many great teams and coaches in the Ivy League. And that was a big, big win for Temescal Canyon. That's our Big Boost Play of the Week. Speaking of great coaches, we got one right now here on the Inland Sports Show. She is the head coach for Temescal Canyon, Sarah Kretschmar. And Coach, first off, you were just telling me right before we went on air, Zion, that was a walk-off shot against Hemet, but that's her second of the season?
Had another big walk-off, looked just like that one against Vista Murrieta to win it in the bottom of the 7th about a week ago.
So you guys have a flair for the drama, I guess. You wait till the late innings, right, to come up with that big hit, it sounds like.
Oh, my girls love to play into that. That makes them special.
But it probably gives you gray hairs. Maybe you were like, hey, can we just get a little run support early on in the game and not wait till the 7th or 8th or whatever inning it is?
Right. Not exciting enough for them, but no, they deserve every ounce of the excitement they've put themselves into, so that's fun.
Well, Coach, this year's team obviously off to a great start. We know the Ivy League is tough, but what have you liked about your team so far this season? And also, to kind of piggyback off that, where are some areas you feel like this team could even get better as the season goes on?
They've been so strong in our pitching is absolutely unbelievable. I tell the girls every day they got college level pitching at high school level age, which is so exciting for them. I always think that we can do more, be faster, be stronger. I think they should be able to hit way more home runs, but man, every high expectation I set for them, they exceed. They make my life amazing. So easy, so fun. They're an awesome group of girls, down from my freshmen all the way up to my 11 seniors.
Speaking of those 11 seniors, Coach, it doesn't matter if we're talking softball or football or tennis, whatever the sport. If you've got a strong core of seniors, you're going to have a chance to, have a special season. Talk about this, these 11 seniors, and obviously, they want to go out and set the legacy for Temescal Canyon softball and do something big this year. What have they meant to the program for you, these 11 seniors?
They're huge leaders, down from senior 1 to senior 11. I got seniors all up the middle, catcher, strong senior pitchers, strong senior center fielder. That just are leading by example of hard work. Every teammate matters, falling into whatever role we need them for that game, and always coming up big whenever we need them. Violet Garcia, our ace right now, is absolutely killing it on the mound with her energy. Mary Cabrera in center has defensively carried us, and Haley Gano behind the plate is just a wall. And just all those little things add up to put us in great situations so big hits can come through and win it for us.
Well, Coach, you mentioned the pitching's been unbelievable, but the team's also hitting home runs. I mean, where do you think the strength is on this team, or is it maybe different from game to game?
It's different from game to game because I do think my girls really prepare for their opponent, but more than anything, they are gritty, they are grindy, They are scrappy. They will not go down without a fight. And that starts in practice. As much as I'm all over them, man, they are some strong, tough girls, and they show up to play every single day, which puts us in competition with, I think, anybody that's on the other dugout.
What would you say your coaching style is? Is it coach them hard in practice, but make sure they're still having fun and everyone's still smiling and enjoying the experience? Like, how would you kind of describe the way you coach?
I definitely think it's on the harder side. I got some awesome assistants who kind of balance us out. So we got a little good cop, bad cop going on. But I'm hard because they're capable of so much. And that's my greatest joy, is being able to show them that they can do the hard things and they deserve to be able to be successful at those hard things. So if that means I got to be maybe not their best friend every day, I'll take it, because these girls are awesome.
Yeah, and they're producing right now, picking up some big wins so far. Obviously, the other coaches across the CIF, they've noticed that as well in the latest CIF Southern Section rankings in Division III. Let's see, you guys are at number 7 right now, and at least in our Inland Sports Show coverage area. I know Ramona's up there, Cajon and Aquinas are both up there. There's some really good teams. Do you keep track of the rankings at this time of the year to see maybe who you might see down the road, or is it too early?
I'm always looking at that, because I want to see who do we want to play. I mean, all those names we see ahead of them, that's who we want to play and hopefully get past them, right? We want the good competition, so that way when we get to the playoffs, we're not surprised. We've already seen good pitching, so that way we can hopefully hit a stride right when we need it.
You know, and Coach, you brought up a great point. How does the Ivy League prepare you for the playoffs? I mean, you're obviously Hemet's good. You're going to see Riverside Poly. They're obviously one of the top-ranked teams in D1. I mean, it looks like Ivy League is kind of a great tune-up to get you ready for a CIF run.
Totally. No easy games, no easy pitching. Every team we play, especially, I mean, Hemet was a well-disciplined defensive team. They hit really well. I mean, we're going to face good opponents, so I'm glad we're in this higher league than we were last year, just so that when we hit playoffs, we know what we're getting ourselves into.
Coach, what was the message before the season began? Because obviously with 11 seniors, you knew if this team could put it together, it could be a special year for them. But what was the message going in? Like, hey guys, if we play hard and we stay the course, we might have a couple banners to show at the end of this. I mean, what was the message before the season even began for this group, especially being so senior heavy?
No, leave it all on the field. Leave it all on the field, whether it's practice, a game. Show up, and if you work hard, focus, do your absolute best each day, whatever the outcome, we can go to sleep at night. We can live with that. And that's what I like about coaching, is that's a life skill too. You show up and do your best, and so be it. We can live with whatever the outcome is, and the girls have absolutely exceeded that with the success we've had. So totally show up and work.
And Coach, finally, who runs Temescal Canyon Instagram? They're killing it. They're posting all the kinds of pictures and videos. I love it. Who does that? Is that you?
Oh, no. I cannot take credit for that. That is one of our awesome 11 seniors. Maggie Gibbs is actually our team manager. And man, she does all of our editing, does all the posting, live updates during the game. She is fabulous. She is a 100% angel for this team, for this program. The girls love her. I love her. She is wonderful. The best asset that we could possibly ask for, that doesn't physically play on the team, but wow, her support is phenomenal.
Yeah, I just want to give her a shout out, because there's not a lot of teams that have the presence on social media like you guys do. So yeah, kudos to her. That's awesome what she's able to bring to your program.
Definitely. She's incredible.
Well, Coach, listen, I appreciate you spending a couple minutes with us here on the Inland Sports Show. Congrats on the season so far, but I feel like this team has big goals down the road, still to accomplish. So congrats so far. Best of luck the rest of the way, and just appreciate you hopping on the show for a couple minutes.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
You got it. That's Sarah Kretschmar, the head coach for Temescal Canyon softball here on the Inland Sports Show. Thanks again, Coach. Really appreciate the time. All right, we're going to wrap up the show with our Ken Sporting Goods must-see game this week. It's a baseball game, and it's a big one. It's going to go down at California Baptist University. It is Arlington taking on Riverside Poly, an all-Riverside battle between the Lions and the Bears, two of the top programs in the area. Plus, it's at Topman Stadium at CBU, so it's a big deal under the lights. Non-league action. Arlington from the River Valley, Riverside Poly from the Ivy League going head-to-head. It's our Ken Sporting Goods must-see game this week. All right, that's going to do it for the Inland Sports Show. A big shout out to our director, Johnny Nunez, here at Team Vision TV 16. My name is Pep Fernandez. God bless you. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you next time on your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show.